Hey, good morning, folks. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with the MLive Morning Weather Update. You're going to want to watch this one because I'm real klutzy this morning. I have my tall coffee here. I might spill it all over myself. We'd never know what happens. All right, and I think we got the weather figured out. I think, for the most part. Some details like snow in the forecast. Maybe we don't have it. Oh, yeah. At the Torregrossa household, we have a little bit of a dilemma because 3 people went to CMU. Another person, me, long time ago, in the 80s when I graduated, went to another Mac college. By the way, just a tip for you, cybersecurity. I do not online tell anybody when my birthday is. I don't have Facebook announce it. I don't, and I told my wife, I said, I don't really announce our anniversary. I don't say her birthday. I don't usually say where we live. Don't give this stuff up, folks, because it's very easy to put some things together about a person and then you've got a mortgage taken out in your name or something like that. I don't know how that works because you sign so many documents and have to do so much proof that you are who you are when you get a mortgage. But so start thinking about that. Don't blab out, hey everybody, it's my husband's birthday or whatever. All right, I'll shut up now. Let's see here. So, you see the bright clouds to our southwest down through Iowa, Missouri. Those are heading this way for some showers tomorrow. And then the storm out west is a strong one, and that's heading our way for Friday night into Saturday, and that's a pretty strong one as well. In fact, I thought I'd start with this. I don't think it's a major concern just yet, but this is the severe weather outlook from 7 a.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Saturday. And you see the southwest part of Michigan is in a darker green, the rest of all of Michigan, lighter green. The lighter green just means you could have a thunderstorm non-severe. But the darker green means that there is the darker green means that there's a 5% chance of a severe thunderstorm. And you can see that from about Ludington to, let's say Lansing to Jackson into Grand Rapids and whatnot. Excuse me. Deb Locke wants to know, is that shirt peach? No. I would call it fuchsia. How about that? Yes, fuchsia. Okay, so let's go into it. Today, beautiful day, sunshine and in the 50s, dry. This is tonight. This is 11 o'clock tonight, midnight, 1 o'clock. So in the late evening hours, after dark, we get the showers coming into Kalamazoo, Jackson, Ann Arbor, Detroit. Here's 1 in the morning. Let's run it out to 6 in the morning. You see the hint of freezing rain. I don't think so. I think it should be warm enough that you don't have to worry about. Now, this is 9 tomorrow morning, 10, 11. Again, the same deal. I don't think so, especially not during the day. So we go into 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, and the showers kind of gel together and move on to the east. Could be a thunderstorm in there too. So let's replay that and show you what's going to happen. So late this evening, showers in the south move and kind of dwindle. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Traverse City, you're dry. Houghton Lake, you're dry. Alpena, you're dry. Grand Rapids, you're probably dry. Saginaw Bay City, probably dry. Noontime, the showers develop in the southern half of the southern half of the state from Grand Rapids, Saginaw, southward. Don't worry about the freezing rain. 5 o'clock, showery, and then it all heads into the thumb and on to the east. So showery day tomorrow. Okay, let's see. What do I got next here for you? Let's go this way. Let's go this way for now. This is the European model. And all right, Millinor, sun trying to pop out in Warren. Hey, Jenny Steele, good morning to you. Okay, so there's your showers Thursday afternoon and evening. That gives you a good idea. Bay City, Midland, Grand Rapids, southward. Not Traverse City, not in the north. Friday, dry until evening when showers come in toward the Traverse City area, Muskegon, Ludington, Manistee. Friday night, this is Saturday morning, 7 a.m. So it looks like overnight to Saturday morning, Traverse City and Muskegon and Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo will be showery, and all of the UP as well. All rain. This is Saturday through the heart of the day, showery, maybe thunder showery. And then as we go into the afternoon, it starts to clear out to the south. And here's Sunday. It doesn't look too terribly cold just yet on Sunday. We go back to a southwesterly flow, and we continue to see Tuesday as the warmest day. So this is Tuesday afternoon and evening, Tuesday night, Wednesday. So this is that storm that's hitting the West Coast right now. It looks like it's going to be, a meaningful storm, not a historic storm. It's going to move in, move out, but it's going to be strong. We're going to be on the warm side of it first. There could be a little zone of freezing rain, and then as it shifts off late Wednesday, we shift back over to snow showers and start to trend toward a little cooler. This is the next storm after that. So look at this precipitation. So this is tomorrow's precipitation, and it's heaviest in the southeast where you could have over a half inch. Then you go north of that, and it could be a quarter inch. You go north to Grand Rapids and Saginaw, Bay City, maybe a tenth of an inch. And then where you just see the white, that's a good way to tell where you're going to have rain tomorrow and where you're not. White from Clare northward to Traverse City, Petoskey, Charlevoix, Sheboygan, Rogers City, no rain. And then we go into the Saturday rain, and that could be heavy on the west side of the state from Traverse City westward. Could be over a half inch, could be an inch. So various rains, and then we got that Wednesday storm. Looks like a wet one. Puts us all over an inch, puts some of us to 2 inches, and then we would have another one. So look at this. Over the next 16 days, it looks, really quite wet compared to areas around and compared to normal. We're looking at 2 to 3 inches of moisture probably over the next 16 days out through, say, March 20th. Okay, now temperatures. In the 50s today. Enjoy it. Tomorrow, just a little bit cooler because of the clouds and the rain showers, but in the 40s. And you could see that if Saginaw is going to be 42, you're not going to have any freezing rain, even in the morning, I think it'll be about freezing. This is Friday. Back to the 60s in Grand Rapids and Lansing and Kalamazoo, 65. Push the grill out of the garage, away from the house, turn on the gas, check the tank, because, we can never remember if we grilled, although a lot of us still grill in the winter if it's a favorable day. It's kind of rare, but I'll do that if it's a light wind. I think I've done it a couple of times this winter. And Saturday, into the 60s, 50s in Traverse City. Sunday, 50s to near 60 in a lot of places. Monday, the surge of warmth reinvigorates, if that's a word. And then Tuesday still looks like the warmest, where we could approach 70 degrees or maybe crack 70. And then here comes the cold front. And what you'll see after that, about March 12th, I'm going to say we return to winterish March normals. In the 30s, maybe some 20s to the north. So that's Thursday, March 12th, March 13th. It's hard to stay cold every day in something like that, but generally it looks like a colder than normal pattern, still making it above freezing by several degrees most of those days in the southern half of Michigan. We're out to Wednesday, March 18th, and still on the cold side. This might be holding on to that a little too long because I want to show you. I want to go back to here, okay? All right, so you got your stuff. You got the idea of what's going to happen. Today's a beautiful day. Enjoy it. It's going to be in the 50s by afternoon with some sunshine. Tomorrow's a showery day, and then back to beautiful Friday and very warm on the weekend. You got that whole idea. Now, let's look at, we know the warmth is going to come to an end. We see that midweek next week, starting about March 12th. Let's try to figure out if that's a month of cold or just a week or two. And I'll let you off the hook. I think it's a move in, move out week, a week of colder than normal temperature. So we're going to look at various models in the upper airflow. We're going to start with the European model. Remember, any bend is a storm system. There's your bend for Thursday. Any U-shaped bend, there's your U-shaped bend for Saturday. And remember, I talked to you about next Wednesday, Thursday being the strongest storm. That's your bigger bend for Wednesday, and you can kind of see why it would get a little cold air pack behind it. And there may be another one coming down after that very shortly on the following weekend, March 14th, and kind of carving out a little bit of a trough. But also notice as we get out to March 19th, that's swinging out of the picture, and you could envision that by the 20th, 21st, we take back off to milder temperatures, getting back into the 50s again. Let's look at some others of this same variable, about 15,000 feet up. So this is the European with its AI mode attached. And what does it say on Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday? About the same, not quite as deep. And then it's got that March 14th, 15th storm system. And it's got the look of a more northwesterly flow into the 19th. And it's got the look of that moving off after that. And just for the heck of it, let's look at the US model called the GFS. Same variable again, just we get the wind barbs on there too. So that's why it looks a little different. There's your Saturday rain. Let's see what it looks like for Wednesday into Thursday. It shows about the same thing with that bend. And it wants to be a little bit warmer. You know, by the 16th, that's kind of a warmer flow. It's not quite as cold. And by the 20th, we're back to a full southwesterly flow, warm temperatures. I would probably agree with the European just because it seems to be better. But a lot of times we find that we go about halfway between the two. So we do have a cool down coming from about, I'm going to say March 12th to about March 19th. Look for a lot of days, southern half, lower Michigan, highs in the 30s. Maybe a day pops into the 40s, drops back to highs in the 30s. So, after the next 5 days of 50s and 60s, we're going to feel like, and it always amazes me that 37 degrees after coming out of a cold spell on February 1st feels like a heat wave. 37 degrees in late March feels like the coldest, nastiest day of the winter. And we know we have a few of those coming. No big snowstorm yet in sight. Cold air has to come in first before a storm comes in from the southwest. Certainly can still happen. Nothing in the hopper for at least the next 7 days. Hey, hopefully you enjoyed this weather update. Fire up chips. That's the other thing I learned is that, as a meteorologist to the millions in Michigan, I can't really be Michigan State or Michigan. I mean, I tend to root for Michigan State, but I like Michigan too. But I can always be Central. I can always be a Central fan because it doesn't have anything to do really with the other two bigger schools. There's your weather update and some ramblings. Hopefully you have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. There's more to come. On out into summer. Take care.